Panelists, very good afternoon to all of you. Ladies and gentlemen, this session, AI in jewelry technology, in manufacturing and retail, is going to be a pivotal session because in the last couple of years, or if I can be more specific, since September 2021, we are seeing the word AI being the top word in the last 5 years. Can anybody in the audience guess what was the revolution since September 2021 in AI? Any guesses here? That was when ChatGPT became live on an international level. And since then, AI has seen a new face in the world. Today, we're having a session of how AI is a use case and how AI can be a driver for the industry. So we have speakers from across the supply chain in jewelry who are going to tell their experience, they're going to share their expertise, and this is a good intake for all of you. We would like this to be an interactive session. So we would like this session to be thought process for all of you. So we would like to start the session with you, Vinit. You've worked, you had experience, you have developed some knowledge across the entire supply chain, right from you can say inventory management to CAD designing up until retail inventory management. So I would like you to give the opening note, talk about how you've seen AI evolve in the coming years. Yes, can we have the slide, please?
So hi everyone, good afternoon. As you know, my name is Vinit Jogani. I'm a director at the Lemon-Diatech Group. We've been in this industry for over 25 years now, providing pioneering consulting and software solutions across the supply chain. So from miners and tender houses to diamond and jewelry manufacturers and retailers. And most recently, we've been building Diatech Studio, which is a generative AI workspace for modern jewelry design teams. So let's look at like the high level pipeline of the jewelry process. Okay, so we could break it down into 4 high level stages. First, we have imagination and specification. So these are kind of upstream processes and departments like designing and product development, merchandising, things like that. Then we have material and make. So these are factory operations like procurement, manufacturing, and quality control. Then we come to flow, trust, and capital. So these are the middle layers of the operation, includes inventory, supply chain, traceability, finance, things like that. And then finally, we have experience and demand. These are the distribution layers. So this includes operations like sales and marketing, retail, e-commerce, things like that. Now, AI applies differently to these different stages, and we need a framework to contextualize AI applications and initiatives. So I like to think of it as these 3 epochs of AI, 3 generations of AI that we've seen. First, we had rule-based AI, and we've had these for maybe 40, 50 years now. These are logical systems for decision-making and automation. So a lot of if this then that workflows, a lot of calculated formulas for different kinds of evaluations. Then for the last 25 years or so, we've had analytical AI. These are predictive systems to learn from data and make decisions, extrapolations. So these are classification and regression models, a lot of clustering, a lot of sales forecasting, for example. And then finally, right now we're in this generation of generative AI. And the revolutionary capability that generative AI provides to us, it's for the first time in history, we can deal with unstructured inputs and outputs. Not just tabulated, structured, numerical data. So the strategy to apply Gen AI with the highest ROI is to ask this question: where do we see the problem of missing structure? So if you look at the 4-stage process again, the 2 middle layers have lots of rule-based and analytical applications. For example, in the manufacturing process, we'll have factory decision support systems and worker evaluations, work allocations. In the inventory processes, we have pricing models, sales forecasting, fraud detection. But the data that we see here, the inputs and the outputs, are largely structured. They're calculated numbers that we make those decisions off of. But the first and the last stage of the pipeline deal a lot with unstructured inputs and outputs. So if you look at the imagination specification layer, we deal with inputs like the aesthetic direction, the inspiration mood boards, references, audio notes, text briefs, sketches, annotations. These are not things that we can represent easily with numbers. And the outputs that we generate here are also very unstructured. So these are designs and collections, targeted updates, slide decks, price estimates. These are all, again, things that are not inherently structured. Same way, in the distribution layer, we see the inputs are everything that we output from that layer, but also customer support or search queries, and that can be in the text and voice format. The outputs are also similarly unstructured, so similar design recommendations, model and lifestyle photos and videos, textual copy, cold calls, chatbot responses. So essentially we're dealing with multimodal unstructured data in text, in image, in voice, and in video. And the inputs and outputs of these four modalities are something we couldn't deal with very well up until now. So generative AI is generative AI agents are creating a lot of value in these two domains, enhancing a lot of creativity and productivity as we see. So what I would like to do for the next few slides is work through a couple of workflows that are now technologically possible today already. And some of that we're working on, but also industry as a large is accelerating development in these areas very quickly. So first we're looking at like a design agent and a co-pilot for designing. So today what we could do is an AI can go through the web and fetch AI remixed inspiration. So these are inspiration from sources around the internet and generate new variants using AI in the same style. The user then shortlists a few candidates and drops it onto a mood board. And with it, they can also drop other kinds of inspiration, so color palettes and motifs and architectural patterns and geometries that they feel is relevant to this new piece that they're designing. From there, an AI agent takes over and scaffolds an entire collection with multiple designs and multiple design types, earrings, necklaces, all of that. Now from here, the user refines the outputs, adding their own aesthetic judgment with AI. So the idea is we're looking at AI a lot more like a co-pilot that works with you and can enhance your productivity while still using your own aesthetic judgment. So from here we can see, oh, how would this design look like with pear stones instead of ovals? Or how can you make it in white gold instead of yellow gold? From there, the AI can then create entire slide decks and presentations with price estimates, with bill of material estimates in seconds. And then that can be handed off to a marketing agent for actually communicating with the customer. So all of these touch points in the design journey and merchandising journey typically would have spanned multiple tools, multiple team members, but now a single person has the capability to do this in one workflow. Let's look at a similar marketing workflow agent. An AI agent can extract customer needs from emails, texts, audio transcripts, or even AI cold calls. And again, notice how these are all unstructured data inputs. If you have a lot of emails that you get from customers, there was no way to extract data in like a structured manner that you could use for predicting demand or even understanding where the demand is at. But now with AI, you can convert a lot of this unstructured data, which is just text, into something that's more tabular, more numerical, more in a format where you can make decisions off of that. Now the AI agent can then use visual similarity, which is also something that was very, very hard for us to do until very recently, with text or image prompts. So you can have similar images off of Instagram, you can have a search query that's fairly complex, and without any manual tagging, you can filter from your own design database all the designs that are similar to that. Then the AI can auto-enhance sketches and renders into high-quality shoots and videos. So it can take something very crude like this, convert it into a proper jewelry render, create lifestyle and model photo shoots from here. And then from there, it can create social and e-commerce ready listings. So this is with the bill of material, with background removal, with 4K upscaling, with recropping for different aspect ratios for 16:9 or 9:16 or 1:1 based on the format of the platform that we're using. And then from here, AI can also automatically filter recommendations based on customers' taste, based on visual similarity. So we were looking at a green necklace earlier with the design agent. Now you put that in and you say, oh, with that in mind, what are recommendations for me as a user? And then that can be handed off to a chatbot agent for further interfacing with the customer. Now these are all, again, touch points that would have taken many, many days or weeks, many users. And so these are all, teams with multiple departments, multiple job roles. What we're seeing now is that there's a collapse of job roles. Now, the job is your one marketing executive, and you can do all of this. And that is the capability that AI is enabling. So we'll talk a little bit more about what the future looks like. And
definitely. That was wonderfully presented, Vinit. And can we all agree in saying that today the question is not how to implement, can we do AI, but how can we do AI? in our businesses. That is the stage we have reached in. Today we have seen so many use cases in marketing. I think every jeweler, let it be a manufacturer, let it be a retailer, they've already experimented design, they've already started, because the only bridge between us and AI today is the curiosity that we have. So we need a quick question here before we move on to another speaker. We have seen use cases in marketing, we have seen use cases in design. One very important element which I think every jeweler, every manufacturer would want to know is there an AI use case in supply chain? Because supply chain across industries wants more transparency, wants more data processing. It's no longer just analytical AI, it's going towards generative AI. But how do we see that in supply chain? Would like your opinion and would like Vishal's opinion on this.
So the way I see it is that the jewelry supply chain, when we say supply chain in the jewelry ecosystem, is a lot of administrative roles. So these are overheads that are above and beyond our manufacturing or our inventory and sales. So AI is really enhancing our accounting departments, our HR departments, our the way that we manage inventory. Now instead of tagging everything manually, we could search it using natural language, and so that department is now very different, cataloging, things like that. Now, one of the things that, one of the ways in which we see the most severe impact is typically teams would have 1.5 to 2x capacity in all of these departments because we have a maker-checker concept, typically. So now we could use AI as either the maker or the checker, and use just one person can either do the making and use AI to check quality control, or the other way around where the AI makes and the user is checking. And so that excess capacity that we needed, we don't anymore need. And that's, I think, the core value add across these departments that we're seeing.
These are wonderful use cases that are opening up in this discussion. And just to mention to the audience, this session is also going live on YouTube. So you have this session as a reference basis for you even after this session. So you note things down now, you can note things later too. But thank you, Vinit, for the pointers. Here I'll take the discussion over to Vishal. RFID often is considered a simpler technology, but today with the integration of AI, we would like to know where is RFID reaching and how is it going beyond simple data capture. Let's see that.
So, first of all, thank you for having me here. It's a prestigious honor to be on this forum. I'll quickly run you through the presentation. So, just to give you a brief, IRYS, we are into RFID solutions exclusively for the gems and jewelry industry. We have been in this field for last 16 years, specifically catering to this vertical, and have close to 1,000 clients and work with 60 different ERPs. We have clients pretty much in every continent. I'll just skip through slides. So basically, in order to understand how RFID is basically going to help you get maximum throughput out of it, we'll have to first understand what RFID is and what are the components of RFID. So if you can see, we as a RFID expert, we have the best-in-class hardware, which includes scanners, printers, tags. There is some amount of application, some amount of APIs that you can integrate with your CRMs, you can integrate with your ERPs, and obviously the support. So basically, this is one of our the latest offerings in the applications, which is Android and iOS compatible, which has basically limited to 4 features, which is a product catalog, a stock audit, an item search, and a smart view. So the last option, which is the smart view, is highly related to the AI, which we will be focusing about. So as in the stock audit is basically going to help you quickly audit your inventories on a daily basis. An inventory of 4,000 products can be quickly scanned in 20 minutes. Whatever your discrepancies are can be immediately reported. Product catalog, basically, again, as Vinit just mentioned, you can this is an AI-enabled thing where you can really talk to the catalog. You can ask him for specific designs. Let's say you want a customer walks in and he wants a butterfly-inspired designs. You just say it to the app. The app is going to look into its entire catalog, not just for one location, but your entire global catalog, and it's going to pull out the products that are matching the criteria of the customer. This is what the Smart View is. So the whole objective of Smart View is to give customers a niche experience, right? Eventually, when you talk about jewelry, it's a luxury element. It's a luxury component, and you really want to create that kind of an experience for the customers so that they can have the best output. So what a smart view is, so basically typical a traditional method where you are operating currently is whenever a customer walks into a store, he is going to ask a salesperson for a particular product. So the product is kept in front of the customer, and customer then sees the product, tries the products, asks different questions to the salesperson. But in this we are going to use a smart tray. So basically a salesperson is going to keep the product on that particular tray. So the moment the product is kept on the tray, the complete information of that product, including your 3D videos, your pricing detail, entire thing is going to be popped up in front of you. And as a customer, you get all the information offhand. So the salesperson, at no point of time need to disengage with the customer, go to a POS, get a printout, and show him the pricing and things. There is more aspect to this smart view which we will be covering it. So basically what AI, we talk about AI. So what AI basically is, the more data the AI has, the more meaningful information it is going to give you. So the objective is to capture as much amount of data as you can. And what better means than RFID to do this data capture. Currently RFID is probably one of the fastest means to capture data. So as you can see here, whenever a customer engagement is done, right, I was talking about you keep the product on the tray and you get to see the details about that product. So a customer is getting a niche experience, right? But as a business owner, as a owner of the jewelry store, what are you getting? We are recording that entire transaction. That entire session is getting recorded and all the highlights are getting captured. For example, right now, like if you ask how much is the footfall and how much time has the customer spent at your store, that information is absolutely not available to any retail jeweler, right? So here, as you can see, we have done a small test case where we have done this smart tray, used this smart tray at 2 locations, KB1 and KB2. So you can see out of the total 180 footfall that we had, 91% was for KB1 location, 9% was for KB2 location. And you also get to see at KB1 location at what time of the day and how much percent of the footfall was there, right? Now out of this footfall, the amount of, let's say we have 180 customers walking to your store, you can see how much time a customer has spent at the counter, right? So that's probably one of the important factors that a jeweler want to know, like is the customer just walking in, having a look and walking out of my store, or is he a genuine customer and spending quality time at my counter seeing the jewelry pieces. So you can see that at KB1 location there are like maybe 27 customers who have spent more than 40 minutes. So probably people who have spent more than 20 minutes are your genuine customers. So the first 107 customers who have walked in are actually not going to give you any revenue. Now you can see for that particular location, what were the kinds of products that were displayed to the customers. So there were 146 ladies rings, there were 74 earrings. So you get to know what kind of products the customers are having a look at. You get to know, the customer buying patterns. So as you can see, you also get to know your product analysis. What kind of products the customer are having a look at. Is your ladies rings more popular? What kind of ladies rings are more popular? Let's say you have 1,000 ladies rings. Out of this, let's say 500 ladies rings are being seen. So you get to know how many each item has been viewed how many times. If there is any inventory in your store which has never viewed at all for let's say 6 months or 4 months. So the AI is going to give you that exact data, like these are the number of products which have not seen for so many, for that particular period of time. So here you get to know out of so many viewership, there are so many products that has been sold. So you have a viewership versus sold records. If you further drill down into the ladies ring category, you know that style design 1 is probably more popular out of all the designs that you have in your store. So that particular design has been seen multiple times. So the next question is, if a particular design has been seen so many times, is it also getting sold? So there could be a case where you have the most popular design which has been seen extremely, more number of times, but the conversion ratio is very poor. So next time when a customer probably sees a ring and ignores to buy that ring, you can question him that what's the reason, why have you not chosen this ring. So if there's an issue with the price point, if there's an issue with the design, you can make those minor corrections and you are going to ensure that this particular product is going to sell like hotcakes. Right. Moreover, you also have the sales performance analysis in terms of which salesperson is catering to how many customers, how many products is he actually showcasing, what kind of products is he showcasing, in what price bracket is he is comfortable showcasing the products, right? And eventually what is the sales that is done by the salesperson. So all this data, and eventually the stock discrepancy, as I said, RFID, you are going to do your stock on an everyday basis. So from day one to, let's say, end of the month, what is the stock discrepancy that you have, right? Is the stock discrepancy within your permissible limits? So that complete data would be, available to you offhand using this RFID.
It's wonderful. I think this is a perfect example of AI becoming a partner not only from capturing live data, real-time data, to taking it forward to becoming a trend partner for you. What is the trend analysis happening in the stores, and going forward to say what is the forecast, what is the next plan of action for you. That's a beautiful line segment. So this is how you've taken analytical to generative AI. So what can be a first point of contact for customers to start implementing this tech? What is the first thought process that the retailer should have so that they can take this tech in easily?
So basically for retailers, they need to be open to this idea of adopting the technology, right? They need to value tech in the first place, because we have seen so far that in the jewelry industry, we still have probably 80 to 90% of our industry is unorganized, right? So, but thankfully now the next generation is now coming and taking the responsibility of the business. So I'm pretty much sure that tech is going to be an integral part of it. Secondly, they should be ready to have this data available to them at any point of time. They need to ensure that they set the right processes. If they have the system in place, they need to enforce that the staff, the users, follow this on an everyday basis, right? There has to be some discipline, there has to be some, a roadmap and some kind of a procedure that should be given to the staff. And in a way, this is the way you have to go about making the same. Because what we have seen is, the jewelry owner, he is very inclined and he likes the technology, but sometimes he fails to adopt, or he fails to make changes as per what the demands of the technology are, and it is not enforced. So if the staff probably resist, then we have seen that the owner typically ends up giving up on that technology, right? So these things are very important when you adopt a technology, and it needs to be really explained it well to the staff, and should be told them that this is eventually going to help them.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Vishal. And here let us go from analytical AI to more core Gen AI process. Kaushik, we would like to have your opinion on the fact. Now, please come here. Jewelry manufacturers have often used CAD as the best design software for themselves. Now, how can AI in such a tool help become a creative partner and not just an enabler for the industry? Would like your opinion.
So basically, if we see AI tool can actually help you out in making very good designs. It's no more required like you manually do each and every part of it. But nowadays, if you can just give few commands to the programs, and AI helps you out in creating very good designs and all that. So it's very simple for anyone to work out with designs and all that nowadays.
Absolutely. And AI overall as an enabler for the industry, how do you see the viewpoint on that?
It is an enabler, but obvious there is no doubt about it. There are a bit of pros and cons attached to it, but yes, we see towards the positive part of it anyway.
Any major challenges that you have seen the industry see, and any use cases you have brought in for them through education?
Challenges could be something around similar designs which may pop up sometimes, but then there are few actual commands which you need to put it up to avoid those kind of repetitions and all that.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. Here we had the viewpoint on how it is an enabler and how it can be come to the industry. Here, education is where what comes into the point of view. Rahul, please come onto the stage. We would like to know how IIG is looking into education of AI for students and the next generation of jewelers.
So exactly the point which was raised by him. So first technology or first education? This is a dilemma, Whenever the technology or any new arrivals comes into the industry, there has to be education first. So what we do, we adopt the technology, then we think of, learning, the owners will learn, then the staff will learn, okay? So then the education follows. But actually as an industry as a whole, we should focus on the education part first. So it's not, just the technology which is driving your industry, it's always educational technology which drives your industry. So I am from the education part, so definitely I'm the torch bearer, so I will always talk about the education first. So according to me, the AI, it's very different. So AI is definitely a technology, but it's going to help us in lot of leadership decision making. How? We'll see. So when we hear about the AI, immediately we always talk about the tech part, it's a technology, but also it is help you to think and decide certain decisions which are very essential for our business, and also not only for our business but also for the customers, how we can serve the customer in a better manner. So we'll see, first of all, what is a pattern. So it's not robotic or chips, or it's not, we are not talking about AI in that case. It's always understanding your customer better. What can bring you a better sale is understanding of your customers, and AI will help you in that particular manner. So we'll see how it's going to help. I'm just little rushing the PPT. These are the use cases where exactly for the gem and jewelry industry, we can take the help, make the partner AI, and really thrive in this business of the new, like Gen Z. Right now we are on the curve that definitely world is going very faster, and with AI, definitely the speed is going to again raise. So these are the use cases: design, product development, manufacturing, buying and merchandising. We'll see each after one after. Okay. So first of all, designs and product development. So definitely AI is going to help us. You will see the lot of part of manual things will be converted into the AI and the technology part of it. Like lot of already we are using lot of softwares as well, which are using AI. So, but what happened? Why it is important? Because to design and then do the prototyping, and again we are not correct. So going back is not possible nowadays with the very stringent margins. So that all exercise you can just give it to AI to do it. So AI should use for the analyze the past designs, which is more sellable designs. So you cannot get hold of all the memories part. Maybe you will be having 1,000 designs in a year, so you don't know which is selling more and why, for which region. That all memory part, all the things what you have to remember, client wise, product wise, location wise, everything you can pass it on to AI. The second thing is manufacturing. Definitely most of the manufacturing techniques are also going to be AI driven. And also for the data, it is very important what mistakes we make in our manufacturing in factories, that should not repeat. At least that should not repeat. It's always a trial and error. I know who are here, the manufacturers, they must be knowing. कुछ भी नया करने के लिए, trend लाने के लिए, you have to develop something and you do trial error. It's fine. But what mistakes we have done, if we are using AI, AI will stop you. So this is the benefit of AI. They can predict you designs which runs well or not according to the market. Also, they will also suggest you what are the complexity of manufacturing that particular products. Buying and merchandising, this is also very important, where we can use the AI. So before the season start, the AI, your tool, your partner will tell you what is the season is going to come, what products are going to be in the market, what is the trend. So you know your inventory, just we have seen, You know your inventory. So whether your inventory is apt for this season or not, that AI will tell you. So that merchandising can help you. Also the depth of the category. So bridal is coming up, it's a bridal season. And you don't have your category bridal very much in depth, like you just have like 10 to 20 necklaces, though you are selling 100 necklaces in a season. So that all analysis can be done. I think we have covered that thing. Inventory optimization, this is the core function which we are right now using in jewelry industry with the AI. But this is also very important because if your inventory is right, your capital is right. You are using your capital in an optimum manner. So this is the very important thing. We should know what is a slow moving, what is a fast moving goods. You can rebalance your stocks, etc. This is something which I'm closely associated with. It is a retail segment. So I'm doing a lot of analysis and training part in retail. I'm telling you, looking at here, next 5 years, entire retail will be changed. Right now what we are looking retail jewelry segments and retail sales from the jewelry outlet, entire retail is going to change. And that is a lot of different reasons around it. Maybe the one reason can be the gold prices, another reason can be the trust issues, natural diamond, lab grown, etc., etc. But retail is going to change, and who will predict your change? The next coming change will be predicted by AI. So retail personalization, a lot of customers are coming to your retail showrooms. Though your showroom is the same, your sale is going down and down day by day. Why? Because they want some kind of a personalization. They want some kind of a customer experience, which you are not following up. So what they are looking, so what AI can do, they can suggest relevant designs, which is based on the preferences of your customers. What customers are looking for, that AI can predict and give you. Same way, also they can support the personalizations. So these are the new things which is coming for the retail segment. We have to gear up for a tool because there are a lot of things to do. One owner, maybe partners, 4 or 5 partners, directors, right? Maybe 50 showrooms to manage. You cannot go everywhere, or you cannot go into all the nitty-gritty of the businesses. You have to have AI agents for that. So you can look into all the systems properly, whether they are working or not, whether it is implemented, it is not working, So there you go, the AI is very important. Also the new Gen Zs is coming in the market. They are also your owners, they are also your buyers, correct? They need experience. They don't have time. They want to do multiple things at the same day, correct? I have certain customers, wedding is tomorrow, they are buying jewelry today. You will not believe, right? But it's happening. So, gone are the days, like we wait for the season to come to buy a bridal, right? So, this is the thing which is coming up. You have to adapt to the new technology, new things which is coming up. One is like virtual try-ons. I think we are late to implement this. Even the best example is Lenskart. They already implemented, they minted money, they have gone multiple stores, right? So jewelry is still, I know it's touch and feel, but tell me, to 2 carat ring, does it require any touch and feel? 2 grams ring, 1 gram earrings, does it require? If I have trust on that brand, 1 gram is okay, I can just see the picture, I can buy. So that virtual try-ons, I think it's going to come. Nobody is bothering in India like paying 50,000 for any jewelry, correct? So 50,000 online sale is going to boom, I'm very sure. Sales team enablement, this is also very important. This is also required, like how nicely they said, you can also approach to the data which gives you how efficient your staff is. So this, you have to enable your sales team, you can do very easily. A sales team doesn't have to maintain the memory. Okay, yeah, this is the person. The face recognition will tell the person and the whole story. Past 3 years, past 5 years, what he buy, what he not bought, okay? What he like, what he doesn't like, what is the occasion. And also they can suggest according to the situation and occasion, your product line. So this is AI. A human has some kind of limitations. AI doesn't have any limitations. Customer journey tracking, this is very important. This is still new for the Indian market. I'm just explaining with another example. After sales and loyalty, a lot of retailers are giving these after sales services, loyalty programs, but again, you will be having one staff just managing these all things. Not required. Put AI. Overall supply chain planning. If your planning of supply chain is good, your sale is good, your inventory is good, your capital is good, your profit is good. So overall supply chain, you can generate all the data to the system in AI, and a lot of issues, a lot of problems can be taken care, like a production delay, or the repairs in your jewelry segments, etc. So, sorry. So we are moving into AI-powered world. That is for sure, and that is a good thing because it helps business think better. But if you don't know AI, it's not going to be a good thing for you. If your neighbor is knowing AI and is using it properly, definitely you are not in the race at all. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Rahul bhai. So we are agreeing here that digital touch point cannot be taken lightly today. Apart from the customer interaction, apart from the retail experience, the digital touch point, first point starts online. Then it goes to your touch points at the store. So it is a supporter for everybody in retail and manufacturing. Before we go on to the next set of questions, I request the panelists, we can please adjust the chairs here. So before we move on, I would like to ask a question to our audience here. Does AI now seem like an enabler for your business? Please raise your hands if it does. We still have certain doubts here, but a lot of hands coming up, that is really good. So some critical questions, and I would like all your opinion on that. Indian business ecosystem is a mix of traditional family-driven second generation, third generation businesses coming in. Often large-scale businesses are proprietor-driven. This form of business is separate from a corporate system where you have, for example, management teams having top-down discussions on AI. So I would like to start this point from Vinit. How can a traditional family business or a proprietor-driven large-scale businesses, our McKinsey report recently stated that these businesses are slow to adopt technology, but with the next generation coming in, with the ease of access to technology improving, what is one probably a mindset change or an ecosystem change which these businesses can take in to easily take in technology, and especially with the ease of AI?
So I think we're in a very unique time where AI adoption at the consumer level was nearly instant. Every single person here has used ChatGPT. Every single person at every organization today has used ChatGPT to some extent or the other. Because AI is intrinsically user-oriented. It is made to be easy to learn, easy to pick up, to be intuitive. There was an era for prompt engineering, which I think is diminishing over time also, because the whole idea of AI models improving is they understand your intent even more easily. So I think we are at a weird situation where consumers are adopting AI faster than businesses are, because business strategy is not evolving as quickly. So I think the need for businesses is to think now from a top-down manner and follow through on that execution and share that strategy, because I think not every business today has a strategy on where they want AI applied, how they want AI applied, and what is the rollout timeline that they look for that to happen. Second, I think in extension to that, I think businesses need to start looking at technology as a profit center, not a cost center. So I think this goes to something that Vishal also pointed. I think as businesses recognize the value of AI, they have to understand the value it's creating, the costs it is saving, and then it becomes not an expense, but rather an asset that they're building, even in terms of knowledge capital that comes in their entire team as they start using AI and learn how to use AI better. Third, I think we'll see more and more workflows coming up. I think as consumers, we are used to now using 3 different AI tools. Our data is fragmented, our knowledge is fragmented, our memories of AI are fragmented because now they are split across all of these different tools. I think more and more integrated workflows, and so that's something that I spoke about in my presentation also, which is like these agents that cover end-to-end workflows within single tools. That's something that we're working a lot on. I think today's needs for business, especially in the diamond and jewelry industry, are very unique and very new. we're seeing storytelling, for example, become so important so quickly. Everyone wants to now make a brand. Even a B2B jeweler wants to make a B2C brand or B2B2C brand, or as a B2B player known as a brand. And I think all of that, AI is the superpower. And so only when that strategy follows from the top of the management and there is like a target execution throughout the organization, then we can do this. So in that way, I think the new generation is thinking more like corporates, thinking more like how to organize people together, and even on the lower ranks of every organization now, there are enthusiastic people who are willing and looking forward to do this, and I think those 10x people in each team will be the game changer and will be the deciding factor for what organizations succeed the AI way.
Absolutely. That is some easy pointers for all of you to take in as to how can structural changes be come in, and how can you think AI, so think implementation. That is where the point is driven here. I would like Vishal's opinion too on this, but before that, Kaushik bhai, you have also had experience across generations of manufacturers and retailers. One use case or one discussion that you've had across AI, where you've seen implementation being slower, but there are some things that they definitely want to take in. So how is that being taken in?
So basically, if we see that Indian industry takes too much time in accepting the modern things which are going around. So it has always been we were a bit late enough, or maybe we take too much time to understand the concept and to actually put it into action. So basically, for the examples, like we can take examples from some young entrepreneurs and all that who have been doing really good enough by accepting the modern technology. The same thing was the case when initially websites and everything were working good enough, were just introduced to India. Locally, you won't find any retail traders who are plunging into it. They were taking a real back step and all that. And when I asked them, they said, "Aap karke dekho, pata chalega." I said, "Why? What's the reason behind it?" बोले हम खोल के बैठ गए, but sale नहीं आता. Now that was the time, somewhere around 20 years down the line. And when I actually streamlined it, I got to know various concepts where the traders had just opened up a shop, just like forefathers' business. You open up a shop in a particular place, and then you sit aside that the customer would come. Now those days are gone. So that was the time when they started a website, they put up a place and all that, and they were waiting for the person to drop in. Now that doesn't happen actually. So there were certain things which you need to know about it, like you need to learn a bit of SEO, you need to market and all that kind of stuff. So after that you can start getting sales out of it. Similarly, the same thing happens right now also. Like with AI, you do something and you can't expect everything to be given to you in a platter. Now the same thing with helping us out, like the tools what you have described and all that, the kind of things which is going around, it definitely helps us out, like to make the business happen very easily and all that for the new generation to start up with.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. Vishal, if I can be so bold to ask, what is the one change that entire retail segment can see in 2026? There is one aspect which is going to evolve very quickly, and what retailers have to quickly know. What can that be?
See, so basically, if you've seen the mentality so far, people pre-COVID, like just when the COVID started, most of the retailers were not even having a website, right? And the prime reason for that was that we don't want our data to be there on the cloud, or we don't want our data to be public. So I think they need to come out of this fear first. That as even Vinit mentioned, that they need to embrace technology. Right? Without that, it is not really going to be possible for them to survive for a longer period of time. We know that now we consider the lab-grown diamonds. We've seen that there are so many chains of lab-grown diamond coming up, right? I at least have spoken to 5 to 10 different jewelry companies who have mentioned that, okay, agle saal tak my plan is to have 50 stores, my plan is to have 20 stores. Like eventually when everyone is going to be on the same street, like what is going to be that one differentiating factor among the so many dwellers on the same street? Why should I come to you and why should I not come to you? So all these things will be basically decided by the kind of customer experience that you're offering them. So we talk of, I mean, like we already have some part of VR, AR already in place. But imagine a scenario where you have an app to assist the salesperson, which is basically bridging the gap between the customer requirements and what the inventory you have, right? So you basically give the right match out of your inventory to the customer, right? The salesperson will have an app to assist him throughout his sales journey. The app itself will be monitoring the customer, can look at his skin tone, maybe tell the app that I'm looking for this kind of an event. So the app themselves can then suggest the kind of jewelry that you should be wearing for an event. Maybe the app will be intelligent enough to dress you as per the event. So when you try that jewelry on you, you are probably going to be, it is going to be as close as possible that you're going to be in that event. So, these kinds of, it might, even study your facial expressions, your body language for any customer. So yes, this piece, when a customer has picked up a piece, oh yes, he has probably liked it genuinely. This, when you tell a price, the customer was taken aback. So probably this is probably not in his price bucket, right? So these entire transaction can be captured by the app, converted to a salesperson. He gets this feedback. Accordingly, he can modify the pitch. Accordingly, the products can be displayed to the customer, right? We are working on the RFID tags. Like there are multiple kinds of tags that are available in the market. We are working on something called as nano RFID, right? So what you mean by nano RFID is basically the tag that can be embedded into the jewelry itself, correct? So imagine a case where there is no requirement of physical labels. How beautiful that tray is going to look when there are no white labels, besides the jewelry pieces, right? So, you can have, with no labels in place, probably the kind of display, the kind of showcase that you have, that completely can change, right? And tomorrow when a customer probably comes back to you because you have that chip embedded into the product, you can validate whether this product is genuine, whether this product has been really taken from you. All that thing can be traced back. So, I think the retail is going to be highly influenced with the evolution of AI.
Absolutely, absolutely. Wonderful points put forward. They say data is the new oil and AI is the enabling of the new oil today. So here we have two forms of discussion. We have learned about marketing, CAD software, how can designing be implemented, how can marketing be implemented with AI. We've learned how retail can take in AI implementation in terms of nanotechnology, in terms of customer interaction. But a very important question, and Rahul, you can help bridge this. And that is why we keep emphasizing on education. One reason why we have such panels during IIJS Bharat Signature is that there is bridging of gap required between stakeholders. So AI implementation by manufacturers, AI implementation by retailers cannot be a standalone process. So how can stakeholders enable AI interactions so that the implementation is easier across the supply chain? It cannot be done in silos, definitely. So how would you recommend industry to implement discussions of AI so that there is more learning, faster learning happening?
Yeah, very nice question. So this is actually where the education plays their part. We are in that era that there was no requirement of any kind of a third-party authentication. The trust was only there for the jewelers and the diamond sellers. The personal touch, the brand was the person's himself's integrity. So that time also we were buying jewelry and diamonds. Now the time has changed. Every retailers, every manufacturers are talking about sustainability, traceability. Okay, so what is that, and who will check that? So this is the AI work, or this is the AI technology which enables the customers to exactly trace back and check whether the trust or what is given, whether the certificate which is holding is correct or not. So here the education part is very important. not only to understand the technology, but also the application of the technology is very important. So as an edupreneur, I always see the technology part should come along with the education. The same happened in 2018 when the lab-grown diamond came. I was the first person to start lab-grown diamond identification course in my institute. So we have a complete, online and a video course on that, which is in the collaboration with Grill Lab. So this is the something what we always adapt first, and we try to be at the at the best of our case for the education, for the technology to came into the market. And one more thing, the change what I can see and what AI can help, that is SOBO. So shop online and buy offline. So this is happening in India because India is always an emotional purchaser of the jewelry, right? So but all the retailers who are sitting in their location, they don't know the customer is already watching you in his phone, right? They are already selected certain designs, already selected your promotions, and then they are coming to your shop. But what happened? The experience they are getting on online, it's not equal to the experience they are getting in their shop. So this is the bridge, this is the gap which has to bridge with AI. So when you make your system, your retail showroom or your brand AI enabled, you can exactly understand which customer has looked for which kind of designs. Then when they are stepping into your shop, you are ready with that design or it is in manufacturing still, it is not there, it's sold. That all things is very important to give your customers the best possible experience. So this is where the AI is very important. Thank you.
That is beautiful. Vinit, please.
So if I can add to the role of education, I've had some personal experiences in just the last few days. I was talking to this boutique retailer that they're just starting out a B2C brand. We were talking about the marketing and all of these applications of AI. And the concern that they had was, aren't you worried that every brand will look the same? I've spoken to manufacturers. And in fact, yesterday I was at the Select Club at the Geo World Center, and so phenomenal designs, like, designs that I've never seen anywhere else. And I'm like, wow, with the quality of design that we have. And the concerns that these people have with the AI use is also the same. Won't all my designs look the same as everyone else if everyone's using the same tool? And the challenge here, the bottleneck here is that people look at AI as the painter and not the paintbrush. And education plays this role of, okay, AI is a tool, like it's not replacing you. This is your paintbrush, it's a tool. You can handwrite every novel, or you can use Microsoft Word, and Microsoft Word will make things significantly easier and less complex for you. I think education is, and some things that we're building and we're working on with the companies, the manufacturers, the retailers that we work with. We're trying to give them consulting services, give them training for their teams. That's the problem that we're trying to solve. Is how do we make that mindset shift, that paradigm shift, that AI is just the tool. It's not doing your job. It's making it easier. I think that's the role of education.
That's so wonderful.
And basically, I would like to add one more point here. That education is just grooming your skills. It is just grooming your skills. It has nothing to do with AI. Now, after grooming your skills, you can use AI to make your work better. So that's it.
Absolutely. Wonderful points put forward. And the key takeaway here should be AI is ready for the industry. So are you? That is how we'll take the discussion ahead. And thank you so much to the panelists. We'll open for a few questions. We're running a little short of time, so we'll open the panel for questions. Please raise your hands.
So sir, my question is to Kaushik sir. So what are the limitations of AI in the jewelry industry when it comes to employment for karigars and artisans?
See, as I told you, AI cannot replace your skills. The skill would be your itself. Now, basically, if you go to see around 40-50 years back, when there were bullock carts and when the cars were introduced, everybody thought that bullock cart chalane wala job gaya, right? Did it happen? But obviously their job was replaced by a new driver. So similarly, right now also, even in the manufacturing field and all that, if you see that the craftsmen cannot be replaced, but yeah, they have to educate themselves and they have to work along with AI to make it much more better, with less wastage and better conditions.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir. We have a question.
So thank you all for sharing your views. I have a question. A lot of things that we talked about are based on the data, which is past. So you analyze the data and say what you are today. Trend forecasting is future. I have so far, wherever I went to a store, I purchased black, blue and brown. That does not mean tomorrow I will not buy pink or purple. How are you going, I heard you saying, and I'm just trying to understand how the trend forecasting would happen and how can AI enable that, because you don't know. What does a woman want? If anyone knows that, has the answer, I think they would be king. So how are we going to really, how will AI help?
Wonderful question. Thank you so much, Nirupama ma'am.
Ma'am, it is just a forecasting. The moment you say that AI has been forecasting, whether you would like it or not, that's again a question